127, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello!
Happy Shanty-Day number 127! Here we are. It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Yep. I'm Sky.
I'm Sagan.
And we're siblings. And we sing sea shanties and
sea shanty adjacent music.
Yep. We're kind of an interesting story here.
Yeah,
to go along with this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and keep the history lesson as brief as I can because you're not here to hear me rattle off about World War One. So one of our favorite bands, the Dreadnoughts, a couple years back released basically a concept album about World War One called Foreign Skies.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
And there's
you should, or rather you should stay home and buy it.
Well, yes, right.
But so there's a song on it called Bay of Suvla, which is written very much as sort of like a sea shanty, sea song, folk song. Fits very well within our canon of music. But to understand sort of the significance of the song, you have to know sort of what it's about. So the landing at Suvla Bay was a conflict during World War One between the British Empire and the Ottoman Empire.
Right.
And due to just about everything going wrong that possibly could have gone wrong, and not like we're not talking about like serendipitous things, stuff that just
like
happened to go wrong, like storms.
Like,
no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about human error, military incompetence on like the highest possible level. Is inarguably the most boneheaded attack in World War One, and arguably one of also possibly the worst carried out attack in all of military history, potentially. It's just it was an absolute disaster for the British Empire. But the song itself is from the point of view of a soldier who is heading off to the landing
just
at
left
Suvla
home
Bay.
and getting ready to go to this.
Has no clue what they're sailing into. There are a couple of historical references in it. In the second verse, it mentions to face the brave Abdul Abulbul Amir. There was where is it? A music hall song written in 1877, actually during the Russian-Turkish War. This is a deep historical cut here.
There's a lot of things here. Dreadnoughts are smart.
They are. That was about two heroes, the titular Abdullah, who was a soldier for the Ottoman Empire, and his foe, a Russian warrior, whose name I can't even begin to pronounce. But so the Abdul Abulbul Amir character sort of became synonymous with the Ottoman Empire, with Turkey. So that's who they're referring to. There wasn't like a particular person they were going to throw down with. In the third verse, there's an old Mr. Stopford who is mentioned. So General, I might not have got that right. Lieutenant General Sir Frederick William Stopford was basically the chief architect of the Suvla Bay landing. Someone who, I think he was like he was like in his 60s or 70s, I think, when like the attack was being planned. Had spent a long career in the military, but did mostly secretarial work.
Right, like aide de camp
stuff.
Yeah.
He saw a lot of combat, but only from an observational standpoint, and evidently didn't pick up anything worthwhile from the people that he served under. So that is the old Mr. Stopford. And then in the last verse, there's a line about stringing up the Kaiser by Thanksgiving time, which was, so the Kaiser obviously being Kaiser Wilhelm, the head of the opposing force to the British Empire and their allies, but is also there was basically I suppose a propaganda,
like a PR campaign, basically.
Where the British Empire truly, or at least the British public, were led to believe that World War One would be over
by Thanksgiving.
Of what year is it? Of 1915.
It'll be fine. It'll be over quickly.
Yeah, when in
just
reality,
do your part and...
the war went on for another 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a very sort of a bittersweet song. The song itself is very joyful.
Yeah.
Within the context of it, it's pretty bittersweet. Most emphasis on the bitter. So the now I have to.
Although maybe this guy lucked it out and was one of the ones that survived.
It's certainly possible.
We'll cross our fingers.
Yeah. So the chorus stop.
Me.
So the chorus goes, it's away, Suvla Bay, hauling away to the Suvla Bay. Fare thee well, my pretty young maids, we're bound for the Bay of Suvla. And that's how the chorus goes. Is that fine for your range?
Yeah, I'm good.
That felt basically close to where we practiced it.
We're good.
But yeah, so it's verse, chorus, follows that pattern. So everybody sings along with the chorus, and the shantyman has the verses. But yeah.
Awesome. Give it a shot.
I think I condensed that history down to about as much as I could.
Any of you that are,
I was gonna say you can look it up. There's plenty of resources online. Yeah. It's just it's real bad. It's awful. But it's a great song.
It is a great song. And again, we'll hope that this guy is one of the guys that made it out.
Yep. Plucked from the finest of hamlets and dales, from Sydney and Bristol and Yorkshire we hail, right in the finest of summertime gales. We're bound for the Bay of Suvla, and it's away, Suvla Bay, hauling away to the Suvla Bay. Fare thee well, my pretty young maids, we're bound for the Bay of Suvla. Our wake it is bursting right over the pier, the engines do carry this bold chevalier to face the brave Abdul Abulbul Amir. We're bound for the Bay of Suvla, and it's away, Suvla Bay, hauling away to the Suvla Bay. Fare thee well, my pretty young maids, we're bound for the Bay of Suvla. And its hull is straight over and hard to the right. The waters are clear and the sand it is white. Old Mr. Stopford will set us alight. We're bound for the Bay of Suvla, and it's away, Suvla Bay, hauling away to the Suvla Bay. Fare thee well, my pretty young maids, we're bound for the Bay of Suvla. Well, the wind it is fair and the stars have aligned. We'll sell our salt cod for sweet olives and wine, and string up the Kaiser by Thanksgiving time. We're bound for the Bay of Suvla, and it's away, Suvla Bay, hauling away to the Suvla Bay. Fare thee well, my pretty young maids, we're bound for the Bay of Suvla. We're bound for the Bay of Suvla. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
All that young sort of,
I'm young, I'm invincible, gonna go get him.
Yep. All those parts of those stories are important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well,
that's all I got.
Don't know. That's about it we got for today. Lyrics are down below.
Yes.
Not sure I actually said that this time.
No,
Sorry
I don't think you did.
Whoops.
Well, it's a good thing you said it now, because the lyrics could have moved somewhere else. They could have been off to
They
the
are
left.
still
They
down
could have been off
below.
to the right. They could have been somehow above the video.
We'll also put information below about how you can find the Dreadnoughts album as well, because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so many good things. Okay. All right. Be safe. We love you. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye.